John Lynch, here's what Matt Burrows tweeted, said several times how much they love Jeff Wilson. You try to take care of guys that take care of you. Mike McDaniel was a good landing spot. John said that he and Jeff was interested in having a bigger role with the team. He knew that McCaffrey on the squad, Elijah Mitchell nearing his return, his role in the Niners would likely be diminished. And, Jeff Wilson's been an interesting case for the Niners because he's had multiple weeks in a row where he has not appeared. And then he's had weeks where he saves the team. You could argue this season he has saved them up until they got Christian McCaffrey. And on a team that's got a lot of running backs hurt, I think it's risky to trade Jeff Wilson Jr. Now, I will say this, since I initially reacted to that trade, you start going through it, McCaffrey, Mitchell, Tevin Coleman, Ty Davis-Price, Jordan Mason. The ultimate conclusion is, as long as McCaffrey or Mitchell are healthy and Tevin Coleman's healthy, you're probably fine. But I do think the 49ers are taking a risk here for a 5th-round pick, which obviously they think is significant compensation. I do not, but what do you think?
Well, I think when you factor in their war chest, which was empty, right, because of the additions of Trey Lance, and because part of not having the first with Trey Lance means you can't trade back and acquire missing picks when you make the trade for Christian McCaffrey, who then really diminishes your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th-round pick. Now, obviously, they got a couple comp 3rd-round picks. But to me, this gets back to what I said at the beginning. My guess is Anthony Lynn makes about $1.2 to $1.5 million. And technically, Bobby Turner's back, so I'm not quite sure what he's doing. But they got 2 running back coaches. And, we talked about within the last couple of weeks, there were some question marks about Ty Davis-Price hitting. They need to be working with that guy and have him ready, because part of football is when you draft a running back really high, he needs to be ready to play for you, because there is no disputing the injury history of Elijah is literally coming back off an injury. He was banged up last year as well.
He's missed 13 of 25 games.
And Christian has an injury history.
52% of games he's missed with injury.
But I got to have Ty Davis-Price ready to carry the ball. And to me, that's on the coaching staff. We're just paying these guys too much money. And this speaks for all these assistant coaches around the league who just figure it fucking out. Because let's face it, I'm sorry to say, I don't know if Christian needs that much help. He mastered the playbook in like a week. Now, and Elijah is on the team, knows the playbook, and was a starting running back for the playoff team. So let's spend our time working with the 3rd-round pick and get him coached up at practice, like the majority of our time. Paying you a premium, let's produce. Because I'm with you from just in a vacuum, a little bit risky because this guy's good, but he's an unrestricted free agent. They don't have any picks. And last week, now part of it was Christian never got dinged up. He had 4 carries. So you go, well, those 4 carries would not go to him.
And 2 catches. And one of them was big.
The catch?
Yeah, 1st-down catch.
And one of the runs was big. Remember on that little quick hand?
He's been hitting more home runs this year, or big runs this year.
He's good. I'm not. Jeff Wilson's a good, productive role player in the NFL, but I can't turn down a guy I got off the scrap heap for a 5th-round pick when I don't have any picks, when I just traded a haul. And I've invested in the youth. I'm putting some of this on the coaching staff.
That's great in theory. That's great in theory. If Jeff Wilson Jr. is gone and Elijah Mitchell gets hurt and Tevin Coleman's hurt, and you're like, Kyle Shanahan can't sit up there going, well, I'm paying Anthony Lynn a bunch of money, so Ty Davis-Price better show up. Well, if right now they think
Kyle too, I'm including Kyle in this too.
I understand, but my point is if those guys aren't good enough right now, I'm not calling up Anthony Lynn and be like, hey, Anthony, time to get to work, bud. If they're not good enough right now, then they're not good enough right now. Now, somebody just said in our comments that Schefter said on ESPN that the Niners believe in Jordan Mason. Great. If they believe in him already, great. But if your bet is, Anthony, I'm paying you money, so you better make these guys better halfway through the season, then that's great in theory, but your money's already spent on Anthony Lynn's contract, right?
No, my bet is on I'm paying my coaches a lot of money because I think they're good at their job. Players improve throughout the season.
Well, they better be good. There's a chance they need to be good enough right now, right? Not right now, but soon. Because Elijah Mitchell, as you said to me, this probably indicates that Elijah Mitchell's going to be back. Hey, man, Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey healthy, one of the best running back rooms in the league. Look out. But if one of them gets hurt, okay, Tevin Coleman coming back for practice squad, we good. I've just seen the Niners every year under Kyle Shanahan get to their 5th running back in 3 weeks. And sometimes now it's possible Jeff Wilson Jr. is just going to rot on the vine and would leave as a free agent, and you got nothing for him. And man,
well, he
you should
would, right? He would not be back on this team next year.
Yeah, he wouldn't be back. Well, I guess. I mean, if the Niners have drafted third-round running backs before and had them gone the next year, they just did it this year, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ty Davis.
Eventually, that's got to stop. Correct?
Yeah. Yes, you're right. It's bad business to keep Jeff Wilson over Ty Davis Price.
But specifically, I would say Ty Davis Price, the universally around the NFL, just you and I, people, if you just bring up the two guys, Trey Sermon and Ty Davis Price, it feels like Ty Davis Price was a much better prospect coming into the league.
Yeah.
Now,
it felt
young
like
players,
everyone
it's hard.
went, whoa, Trey Sermon there?
Yeah, it felt crazy. Ty Davis Price did not. Like, you need those guys to improve and be ready sooner than later. And ideally this year, he won't even matter. But I'm not disputing, like you said, they are one of those pitch plays away from the dude like, oh my God, who's down? And it being 23 or I don't even know what number Elijah Mitchell's 25. Well, I haven't seen him since week 1 because he's had a torn MCL. I do too. Luckily, I don't play in the NFL and I've been able to power through. But
hero,
I'm with you. I don't think it's risky because you also part of running a football operation, if you're Kyle and John, is balancing. Like, they made a huge home run swing on Christian McCaffrey. And once you do that, like, I'm sorry, you're kind of like, you're in the boat with that.
Yeah, no, that is a fair point. Like, I think one of the counters to my point is a 46-man roster is not big. So you don't ever have room for safety nets. You traded for Christian McCaffrey. It's got to work. If Christian
McCaffrey was Trey Sermon and that was the other running back and they still had their other picks, you'd be like, and he wasn't Christian McCaffrey. He was just like a normal running back who would just Jeff Wilson. It'd be kind of crazy. You'd be like, well, he's got a lot of numbers. We don't think that. Like, what are you doing? Once you make that trade, I would imagine, you don't want to like live in the moment, but Sunday had to impact it a little bit. Right?
Yeah. And you also like, I think the other counter to me, and you're kind of saying this, is like, if McCaffrey and Mitchell get hurt and then you wish you had Jeff Wilson Jr., well, shit, that's a bust, right? That's a bust.
Well, because this trade wasn't like most of the trades today, right? Like the Chiefs got Tony because the Giants hated Tony. Clearly they got Chase Claypool traded because the fucking Mike Tomlin couldn't stand the guy anymore.
They've been trying to trade him for a while.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb is like, they don't have a first-round pick. They clearly weren't comfortable with re-signing him. The Russell Wilson money is going to kick in. They don't have enough space to pay everybody. Like, this one was strictly like, I think the 49ers would be the first to tell you, like, yeah, we understand there's some risk involved in this, but this is the first move. We're going the other way, right? Because they've been so consistently going all in on the boat in the near term, and not fifth-round pick's a fifth-round pick, whatever, but when you factor in, they don't have a first, second, third, or fourth. I know they have 2 third-comp picks, but they've literally traded a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a third-round pick, and that's very, very Rams-like, which I think makes them a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
the Rams are not uncomfortable with it at all. I think the Niners, this is not their MO.
No, it's not. And in an ideal world, you trade players and you get players. You trade picks and you get picks, right? So in an ideal world, you get a player and you also get some picks back. And you can do both things at once, be all in on a season while also, looking out for your future, right? That's the ideal. So there is a very good chance it works out for them. Fine. That, like I said, you don't need. I mean, you need McCaffrey healthy. McCaffrey and Mitchell. If Tevin Coleman can be your number 2 back and that guy gets sick. Remember, Debo didn't play this last week either. So if Debo's healthy, the point is you don't necessarily need 26 touches for McCaffrey. To me, it's a little hot for my appetite, but a
lot of that's what he is. Necessity, and they were missing. They're starting running back and Debo.
Yeah, totally. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Debo's back. Tevin Coleman. What does Tevin Coleman end? Let's say they're a healthy team. What does Tevin Coleman Tevin Coleman's getting no touches, but what is even Elijah Mitchell getting? 8 carries, 9 carries, 10 carries. McCaffrey gets
Elijah Mitchell's pretty good.
I know. It actually becomes a good problem to have pretty quickly. So I get it. I do fundamentally understand it. I just think it's a little bit, you are just a little less all in on this year.
You're not
and
wrong.
A little more thinking about the future, which is fine. That's a responsible thing to do. Now, the other argument would be you're also like, you would have had to get rid of somebody here if you were going to keep Jeff Wilson around once Mitchell came back, right?
Yes.
Coleman's on your practice squad.
I mean, the Dolphins' backfield is Mozart and Jeff Wilson Jr. It's basically Kyle's for like 2 years ago.
With Mike McDaniel coordinating the run game. They do play.
That's a pretty good little backfield, don't you think?
Yeah, because like you told me, and you're right, like Mostert, when you flip on the Dolphins,
He looks fast.
Chase
still.
Edmonds actually look good, who they traded for Bradley Chubb.
Dolphins Niners, sneaky underrated game on the docket that, early, like when the season came out, that wouldn't have been a top 5-6 game for me on the season. I think that's going to be pretty fun.
Week 13. That's let's see. Bye Chargers, Cardinals, Saints, Dolphins.
Don't love the Lenore, Ambry Thomas, some random guys on Tyreek and Jalen. Like that's rough combo there.
I'm with you. I've watched a fair amount of Dolphins. It is it'll be a good Jimmy Garoppolo arm strength kind of test game. See Jimmy next to Tua. That'll be a fun little
Dolphins O line kind of questionable. That's a big Bosa. Armstead, Kinlaw, are they alive?
I saw Kawakami tweeted.
Armstead's like legitimately hurt. Kinlaw, like I can't compare Kinlaw and Armstead. Armstead's been very consistent. He just had an injury this year. He's been on the field, dependable. Kinlaw has just been MIA. Like,
yeah. Although Kyle says like ankles and foot, so there might be multiple injuries for Eric.
Yeah. I mean, Kinlaw did threaten to kill Grant because he was going to have the best season ever, and he was going to make him eat his words. And it looked like he was going well until he disappeared, and now he's kind of awfully quiet.
Yeah. Bother you that they traded Jeff Wilson to a team that they play? A few people tweeted that at me. I said I didn't care. Do you care? Jeff Wilson revenge game?
I would imagine Jeff Wilson didn't have a big market guy. It wasn't like they might have been the only team willing to trade for him.
Do you think Jeff went to Lynch and was like, "Hey man, can we work something out?" And Lynch was like, "Yeah, let me make some calls." And Jeff was like, "Actually, I got Mike McDaniel right here. I already texted with him."
Well,
they told him like, "You can look."
The Hines Moss trade, was that straight up?
No, there was a pick. The Bills sent a 6th that could be a 5th with Moss for Hines.
Gotcha.
So the Bills are trying to recoup a little, or the Colts trying to recoup a little value.
I wanted to say that no running backs got traded, but there literally was a running back for running back trade, and Edmonds was a throw into the Broncos, right? Yeah. Which makes sense because they lost a running back and Melvin Gordon's already getting benched.
Yeah.
I would imagine just like Jeff Wilson. Remember, like a week ago, Schefter tweeted it out. I need to stop going like, I think he's just messing with everybody. Not messing with everybody, but I don't even believe this. Like, no, he was telling the truth. Like Jeff Wilson was on the trade block.
Yeah. Yeah. That was that Sunday morning? What day was that?
Yeah, it might have been before.
No, it was Friday. It was Friday.
And I do wonder if it was just simply as Jeff Wilson went to the Niners, like, guys, when they come back, am I just not going to play anymore? I'm an unrestricted free agent, and I'm playing pretty good.
Yeah, I need some.
I think the way they described it was probably pretty true. Like there's no like shady business going around.
No, I agree. I mean, it was a pretty high level. Everybody, this is I give John Lynch's operations are pretty buttoned down, professional, right?
Well, use check Instagram. He's like one of the highest level teammates I've ever been around. Like I think Jeff Wilson's pretty like impressive guy.
He's been just like on standby for them for 5 years, basically, right? Remember they had the game where he had, what do you have, 3 touchdowns, and then just didn't play again for several weeks?
You know where Jeff Wilson went to college?
Central Michigan.
You'll never guess.
No?
Not even close. I mean, actually, some similarities, but wrong region of the country.
FAU.
A little closer, wrong region as well.
NAU.
You're in the vicinity. Just wrong geographical region. Come west.
Come west.
Oh, you said NAU. Is that Northern Arizona?
Yeah.
Go back east.
Oh, Yukon.
North Texas.
Oh, that's a good program. That's not a bad program.